Guys, great news! In the last weeks I managed to enter in the Legoland territory. It will seem strange to you, but getting in and out was much easier than I thought. So how can we visit Legoland? Before enter, must be done online the visa or the entry ticket, call it whatever you want, by entering our personal data such as name, surname, telephone number and where we live. I think that this is necessary because the Lego City Minister of Interior will do a cross-check with the data that we given and the data coming from their spies around the world to verify that in our respective countries we do not oppose the Legoland government. And finally, if you are access granted, you must pay an entry fee of €39 and after a normal customs check you can enter in Legoland. I confess that I was a little afraid at the entrance during the ID check that someone would arrest me, maybe him, for my statement against the regime, but it didn't happen. However, I was amazed that the cameras and the cell phones could be brought without any problems. I would have expected that they were seized at the entrance to prevent any information leak. To allow their use, Lord Business will surely have hidden all the sordid business very well. Obviously, for the minifigures, I do not think it is so easy to enter or exit. In fact, the border is manned by human and minifigures guards, and the whole perimeter is strewn with barbed wire, and some also believe that there are a lot of landmines buried under the ground. Also, always talking about borders, before crossing into Legoland territory, I saw an helicopter pad. I don't think it was part of Legoland, because it looked very big for their helicopters. However, considering the situation, I believe that within the green hatched area, where the helicopter pad is located, there is the operation center for NATO radar and peacekeeping operation in the Legoland territory, to always have an idea of what was going on inside. And about that, after crossing the Legoland border, you could not go around freely. You had to follow the already marked path, the white one in the map, and during all your movement you are constantly under some surveillance camera. Some are visible to make you to stay as quiet as possible, others maybe are hidden somewhere. I honestly don't know what can happen if you go off from one of these paths. In my opinion, to avoid any problem with the government of the other nations, and if somebody don't obey to the guard's instruction, he will be probably beaten, and after will be likely deported by Legoland. But I have no idea about that. This is just my personal guess. Maybe you will be shot in the central square, but I don't know. However, while I was walking through Legoland, I saw only cheerful minifigures around the zone that we could explore. They didn't seem sad or in danger. There was even a football match in progress. But, while I was doing the ride on the Legoland Express, a train that makes the complete Legoland sightseeing tour, every time that we could meet some minifigures along the railway tracks, an alarm sounded. This sound can be interpreted in two ways. The first, a normal sound of a very loud railway crossing. The second, due to its very noisy nature, could serve to warn the citizens to pretend to be happy while the Legoland Express was near them. In this case, I think that their job was pretend to be happy. I tried to find some deer to show to you, but it was really difficult. But I think I have identified a minifigures subject to a public torture to make the various citizens understand that what he did must not be repeated. To be honest, I did not understand if we tourists had to see it too, to be intimidated by how justice was administered in Legoland, or it was just a simple minifigures that was flex how he was having fun. I don't know, but looking at his face, the answer can only be one. Everything I have seen and done, knowing the reality of Legoland Central Administration and Lord Business plans, reminds me the tour in North Korea, where you can only see what the state and the tourism department wants. However, we have already spoken that they have a very similar ideology. They probably have a big bilateral agreement that we don't know about. Maybe Lord Business asked to Kim directly for advice on how we could create a tourism department that will show to the tourists around the world the great beauty and generosity that reigns supreme in Legoland and
Lego City.